Welcome back, everybody. He just brought this bottle out and she was like shocked. So let's see what you gotta say. This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. He's gonna die any minute, bro. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Carbonated water, the victim and Miss Brett shared on the day of the murder. It was on the victim's table. Okay. Miss Brett, can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. She shouldn't have said that. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. The amount is only where one person could drink. Is that what it's going to be? Like, it's only one person's worth of water. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. Oh, I have to look at the court evidence. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's go here. Let's examine this, please. What are we looking for? Label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. You know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. You go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. The level of water, gotta be it. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle. Although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. Let's have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Renosuke. Can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. Why would you drink that disgusting evidence water? Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Renosuke. In more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Okay, let's go back. Let's see what happens. See if the music stops.
Yes!
Got it. What is this? The bottle of water. So she poisoned him? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Autopsy. Before autopsies, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor... So why would she say yes, that's the bottle? Why not say no, it's not the bottle? I don't know where it came from. Could it be the professor actually died after taking a sip from the glass? That would be stupid of her to you know, admit. She got this far lying. Why not lie more? And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? Only one person could have possibly done it. Giselle Brett. It was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous. To suggest such a thing would be without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we only have just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty? Do you realize that you're a piece of trash and you smell bad and you probably don't wash the back of your knees? This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. If I may, I will silence you forever to this disgraceful attack on the lovely young. She had her own. It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady! That was a Jerry Lewis reference. Where did that come from? She just snapped. I told you she was going to snap. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. Sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe? The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison in any description of the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No! I'm very grateful to all of you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from the gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding the weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? I have to say something. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. I could prove there's still water in the cup. Oh snap. She got the man's loofah back. Please wait. Isn't that? What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susata Mikitoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Mikitoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared in like a... Oh, it was him talking. Like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Woo! This tutorial is crazy! To be continued. There's more? Save your current progress? Yes. Oh my god, fellas. You know what that means. You know what that means. That means we're gonna end it. Let's take a minute here. Let's advance a little bit. We'll get another we'll advance a little bit, then we'll come back. Because I thought the case was gonna end soon, not gonna lie. Let's see if we can advance a little bit, get to a little point to stop it at. Well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense, but why is this sudden ingress into my courtroom? Judicial assistant, and a woman no less. The rules state, females are not permitted in this court of law to testify. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. Ah, you're too late, little girl. The trial's already been concluded. 5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more. But Your Excellency, I am most grateful. What? Who exactly are you? I thought you're on the wrong side. Go to the stand. What are you doing? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please simply accept this for now. What is it? A report about something? Written in English? It's Giselle Brett's research. The Englishwoman's. After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university, went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty, and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? No, I just thought you'd like it. Of course it does. I'm afraid I don't know. Haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects? Interesting. Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before. Time's up! The prosecution demands immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. I'm Scorpion. There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful, thank you. Giselle's report. The report detailing unknown poison. It says poison right there. Unknown poison that Miss Brett has been researching during her time at UMA University. Goodbye then, and good luck. She disappeared! Where'd she go? You have had long enough, counsel. You cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask the prosecution and defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but... The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency. Yunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett? Yes, Your Excellency? If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer. It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline. You cannot. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question, however. I must ask you to treat that as an order. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense. My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? Can I examine it? Poison made from the bark... Oh, let me read it. Poison made from the bark of certain trees in jungles of South America. Hundreds of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death even in minute doses. The above-mentioned effect occurs when the poison enters the body through a wound. Blowpipe dart. Due to its ability to render human paralytic, it is believed that toxic application is anesthetic. Anesthetic! Due to its ability to render human body paralytic, it is believed to toxic have an application as an anesthetic. However, solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body process must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. What? Let's see what happens when we present it.
Yes!
Mr. Zellbray, we understand that you were studying under Dr. Wilson at UMA University doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What complete and utter nonsense. Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it. You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what test the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What do you mean? Order, order, order. Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America to poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists. To lace their arrows, the report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. It was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery. These expressions are utter trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of the so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing. In pain, other times would have surely noticed. That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible! Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with the chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's hideous! To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully to an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That's why he didn't scream when he burned his hand. And that's why the gunshot killed him still. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. Silence. And you're suggesting that this bottle, counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison? This is all very convenient, isn't it? And hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. Oh, do I have to show the picture of the glass still full of water? If I may. All these facts, you think you're so clever, but you must be taught some manner. Shut up! It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady! So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Would you agree? Objection! Enough of this. Everyone has used to accept it. The idea of supposing living exists in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules. Ha 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 ha. What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Well, yes, I don't see, why not? She gonna drink it? I like that pour, bro. Good pour, bro. Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Sorry. To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is farcical comedy. Your little poetic police games, these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers. Wait, what are you doing? That's 3-day-old water. That's gross. No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Egad! Silence. They're waiting for her to die. She ain't gonna die. Goodness, whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned. So, no curare. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? Ha 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 ha. You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course. That's the simple truth! Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency? Yes, Miss Brett. I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries. Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. You had to have been poisoning that bottle. So how? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to be poison in that bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have been killed over dead. Come on, Rinosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water contains no poison. Oh, wait a minute. Let's check the court record. I think it might have said something like, there is an antidote for it. Let's see. A solution for the respiratory arrest caused when the poison enters through body through a wound. It does have poison, but it has to. Oh, wound! He lost his tooth. That makes sense. It has poison. Yes, it does. The defense uses change position is serious. Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way the bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. That's right. But you rather complicate your argument, I think. I believe that complication can be explained. How exactly? Because there's no wound. Very well. And the defense truly intends to assert this claim? Then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witnesses were able to consume this poison while they're unscathed? Because of...
Yes!
The answer to this riddle is right here in Ms. Brett's own research report. It's not a valid explanation, no? After all, we don't speak English. This report is utter gibberish. The impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone. Honest. I'm just reading Sasuro-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, counsel. What section report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle? Oh, I have to read it. Hold on. Not synopsis. Special characteristics. Special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. Place the heads of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please. But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there will be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, counsel, no, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here, under special characteristics. It says this: the poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Do you understand? Through a wound, you say. I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written in like this. When Kurara enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poison effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew Kurara's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. You know, I don't entirely trust it because, like, really? Like, if you have, like, a little, like, cut in your mouth or something, which you might have. Cut in your stomach, you never know what you got. I don't know. You meddling little... It was a real rapscallion. A real goose. Swan. Well, you know, Skate, turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
Well, we gotta find a good place to end this. This has been going on way too long. All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how it possibly... So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. This is a good place to end it, just before she starts rebuttaling and they go to the battle for the finale. Who knows how many episodes we got left of this trial, let alone the whole game. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.